It will relate to a window. It will relate to any part. No? So let's say first, let's decide what are the kind of dimensions that I use in my house. How do I decide dimension? By the material? Yes. So if I have brick, for example, let's say a brick is 230 millimeters by 115 millimeters by 75 millimeters. So if I could make a wall and I make it in multiples of 230, then I will not have to waste any brick. Okay? If I make an opening also in size of brick, then I will be not wasting anything. Suppose I am doing it in that concrete thing, then the weight of it, so they normally have 1.2 meters. Just a minute. But the dimension will be decided by the material, but also by the use. So it will be module of material and kind of use. So if I have a bed which is 1.8 meters long, 90 centimeters wide, and I have two beds with 60 centimeters in 900, 600, 900, 2400. The minimum clear dimension of a room I need for that with a very tight space in between is 2400. And I can go to next dimension. If I have a WC, I will need certain kind of clearances, etc. So there are dimensions which come out of use. Now all of you will have slightly different dimensions. First thing is that all students straight away start with a 5-meter grid, which is one of the worst grids. Structurally it is bad, material wise it is bad, in every single respect. A 5-meter grid, I have found from my experience, is the worst. You find out. So you will say there will be rooms which are a bed come walking space is clear distance, that much I know. There will be rooms in which I will have a counter on one side or walking space, and then we can have something else. This will go on second dimension. And this is one dimension. This is second dimension. Then I put it in multiples of my material. Okay? If so, good. Can I then say that these dimensions, if they are interrelated, then I can click one against the other without problem. Yeah? You understand what I am saying? If it is, say, this one is 1800 and this one is 3600, very good. Or if this is 1500, this is 3000, very good. Because two of these will equal to one of this. Yeah? So try to find dimensions which are related in simple arithmetic ratios. If you want to make a system which works well. Okay, now one further complication is that there is no thing without a thickness in architecture. Which is the most troublesome thing you can come. Between no end of it. Thickness क्या होता है? Suppose I am using brick and I assume, and I think you can quite safely assume that for the houses that you are using, a one brick wall is sufficient. So I will have this dimension, whatever is x, plus half K plus R K is X plus K is equal to 1 module. So now, if that dimension is in multiples of brick, then it's very wonderful. If I'm using brick, you can all make it. You understand what I'm saying? It's very difficult to understand. You are going to work out a system which will be workable for any kind of house to be built in that area. You are making a universal system. Let me explain this with actual numbers. Say, if I have a bed of 2000 and I need 900 as a clearance, I need 2900 space. Huh? And if this is a brick wall which is 230, then I get 2900 plus 230. So I will get how much? 3130 center to center. How will I mention? But suppose then I say, okay, this one, if I make half of this, I will get 1565 center to center. And if I take out the wall out of that, then I will and just check that. You can see now, this dimension, instead of being this, can I make it in brick dimensions? So 2300, then another 3 weeks, 2990 is a brick. I use brick. I adjust it a little. Then I get this one different, etc., etc., etc. And I will get all dimensions in the multiples of the material that I am using and the multiples of each other. That is, my attempt will be to get that. What is a good, what is the door size? Most doors. 750. 900. So 900. 750 is for which kind of door? Bathroom doors. 900 is for main door. Then main entrance door.
1.2.
Then 1.2. Find out. Now how do you, but this one door, 900 is coming every. So if I try to get something as a multiple of that plus wall thickness, I might get a very repetitive model. But that's up to you. You will decide what are your models. We will be discussing only that during this week. We will be discussing this. Your finding of a system. Now that has to fit all 4 houses. So you will have to do some, bandchod. Don't be rigid. A little bit of adjustment. You will be able to come to a set of dimensions in the plan. So if I have that plot, I'll say I have got 2 kinds of dimensions, or I can have one and then the second one and then that one. So I can put these 2 in different kinds of configurations. I've got possibilities. In this direction I will have something else which is also dependent on material and use and which may also have a multiple, so that I can remove one and put another one. You understand? It has to be interchangeable. Like Lego bricks. Lego bricks are either 1 dot, 2 dot, 4 dot, 6 dot, 8 dot. And the lengths are all compatible. So that way this also, all the lengths will have to be compatible. Do you understand? Got it? Okay. When you do, then you will find something. It's okay. You more or less understand. Now that is in plan. What about section? Again, the material will give you certain multiples, but what else will give you a multiple? Steps. So you can't have, if you have steps of 150, then your dimensions will be all in terms of 150 multiples, which may not fit your dimensions of material. So does step always have to be 150? What is a step? Step का formula क्या है? So I can try 160, I can try 170, I can try 180, and then I can worry about the material and make the relay, and then I'll get a set of lines which I can draw across my section. Then my lintel will come. So what are the, in a section, what are the critical heights in a room? And clear height, then lintel, then sill level. Sill level कहाँ आएगा? Sill level will relate to what? Type of window, but will relate to what? What type of window will you want? It will depend on the use of the room. Suppose it's an office, then I might put a table against the window. Sill level has to be either same or higher. But if I am putting a bed, I want breeze on my body, then maybe the bed height. So there is bed height, there is table height, there is lintel height, there is clear height. Or I might say there is that, there is that, there is that. So I get this height, like that. But there is some reasons, and your everything will tie across. You will not have arbitrary changes of dimension in the now the systemic principle, because then any Karigar should be able to build it. You can have a half level change, you can have 1/3 level change, that doesn't matter. But it will fall into these categories of heights. You understand? Suppose I take 2 floors. This is my slab. This is my lintel. This is my floor. If I put next floor in such a way that my lintel is here, then from here I will be able to look or from here when I look, something like that. So you will have to think it up. You understand? So the understanding of heights is the understanding of scales. The understanding of dimensions is the understanding of scales. Real, concrete idea of scale. So you will decide the material and you will decide the dimensions, which will be followed by all the 4 of them. And yet you have to be able to make all the 4 houses. What about windows? What about openings? They will also fall into similar dimensional models. In that also, the first prize for this class will be given to that which achieves with the minimum elements or minimum, the maximum variation. Okay, we are instituting a prize. We call it the Arjesha Prize for Architectural Excellence. Shall we?
can.
I think Joseph and I are fully agreed on that. You don't know Arjesha. It is not talking. So we will do that. There will be a prize for the one which has minimum number of elements, maximum number of variations are demonstrated. Okay. So now, which is your group of 4? 3. You are there. Morning and yeah. Now, 3 of you will sit together. You will look at the plans together. You will decide dimensions. You will decide materials. So it will go actually in a circle. You start with material. You will go to dimension. Then you will say, but wait, if this material is different, then dimensions are not coming very happy. Let me try changing the material, then let me do this, then let me do that. See, you are completely confused and Monique has a tal. So somewhere you will have to take a decision. Okay. And you will take, no, we have talked about vertical. What about horizontal elements? Roofs and floors. उसका भी material होगा, उसका भी dimension होगा. And the principle is minimum wastage. You will decide accordingly. So wood is available in what dimensions? And if you are using wood, steel is available in what dimensions? If you are using steel. Steel का size पता है? Tubular steel or channels, or what size it is available? Sorry. No. At sectional size is yes. 6 meters, yes. So now, if you come out with a room in which you can use 5 and 5.6 meters and then 0.4 meters छोड़ दिया, then you are wasting that much steel. That means you are wasting that much energy. That means you are creating that much disturbance to the carbon balance of the world, etc. But also it means that it's costing your client much more. What we are also talking about, in this process we are talking about sustainability. We are talking about a very grave problem in front of us. So the best use of materials, you have to accordingly do your dimensions. For spanning, for covering. Yeah. What are the materials of spanning? Timber, concrete, steel. Then tiles नहीं आती उसमें. GI sheet आते हैं. Now you know GI sheet. If your roof is of a certain kind, you waste lot of GI sheet. So you have to cut each sheet. They are available in certain tiles. Or tiles are available in certain tiles. And if you have got information on that, you can phone my office and ask them to give you a Google level. I only work on all these things by dimensional control. Because that means you really make something just perfectly, not wasting anything. If you can achieve a building in which there is no waste, it's hardly ever happen. Once in your lifetime you might be able to do it. Otherwise, thoda find waste. But minimizing waste and getting maximum efficiency out of whatever they are using. So that will be the spanning. Okay. So this week, the 3 or 4 of you are going to sit together and discuss and decide the plan and the sectional dimensions. First. So you will have a drawing कैसा है? Say there will be a plan drawing which has a 9 meter center to center width. Now you are able to build your combined wall. Okay? Now that you are a cooperative housing society, you can build shared wall. You don't have to build two separate. ये आपका plot. This is 9 meters. This you will give a grid line. This is one set of grid lines. Then you will draw here one dimensional control. You will draw second dimensional control. You will draw, if required, a third dimensional control. You will draw here a series of furniture layouts which make this work, including the wall thickness at that point you will draw. You understand what I am saying? कि वो मैंने bedroom बनाया था, toilet बनाया था, that you will draw without the other walls. You just draw them. Yeah? And you will make one patta which is showing your controls over the plan dimension. You can have in one direction or you can have in both directions. If it is a columnar system, it will have both dimensions. If it's a wall system, this direction can be free, or one of the directions can be free. I don't know if you have realized that. It's a very interesting escape route. But anyway, you will find something like that. You will make a drawing like that, where you will write this dimension. You will write, let's say, this is saying 3, 4, 5, 0, and here dimension 3, 2, 2, 0, like that, whatever it is. You understand? Now we will get one drawing like this. Another drawing will be showing in section. It will show floors, lintels, any other dimensional control levels, etc. etc. And it will show a basic grid of the small dimension, multiples of which are being happening here, whether it is stone or brick or concrete panel or whatever. You will have a sectional drawing. You can have floors shown against each other also, so that I get an idea of both the dimensions, both sides. If कैसा मेरा variation हो सकता है. Got it? Huh? Okay, let's go. And you will show also trend riser. Here you will show like this. With one single line. So you will make a drawing, one drawing, which is to be ready by tomorrow. By tomorrow. You have to do your negotiations now, and tomorrow it should be ready. Because now the factory is going to start. They are going to start producing those elements, and they are going to start playing around with them and create the variations. Okay? This is first stage. Tomorrow you should have come to some degree of agreement on the material and the dimensional controls, and you should have started this process and come to some degree of completion on that. Then we will ask you questions about its various, where it works, where it doesn't work, we will point out things. You have to decide both about walls as well as columns, because we have verandas also. So let's start with this. Then we come back, we go further tomorrow onwards. Tomorrow onwards we will decide openings, we will decide floor finishes, we will decide roofs. Already we have covered. roofs and floors we have covered in the dimension. Okay. So now are all the groups here? Everybody from every group, or somebody is missing? Any groups people are missing? Who is missing? She is around. तो उसको ये सब बोल देना मैडम. And you have to take your decisions. Any others?
Urvi is not there.
Urvi. So if she doesn't come today, you have to take decisions. She has to accept. Okay. You and how?
I am
Sir.
हाँ. तो निर्णय ले ले. उसको फोन करके बुला ले. Otherwise she will be very bad. Who else? Any other group which is partial? Dhruvel and Devesh. You not come? तो ultimatum भेज दो. कि आज रात को क्या हो जाता है, फाइनल हो जाता है, you can decide. I think he will be very concerned. Any others? Daily. Decide. Give her a phone call. Send her SMS. Any absence means cooperative society takes decisions unanimously, passed, and everything done. Now you also have to decide the name of your cooperative society according to the kind of people and houses. Feel free to use any materials. Any. We can set up a wire cut factory that we are building 120 houses, and there is a lot of demand in that area. And we'll use the agricultural waste to run the furnaces. So we'll come up with a full plan for doing it. If we use something like that, then we will come up with an economic activity which will generate. Okay? Any others? Have you understood everything? I have not talked about some further steps which will come in due course. Now we have got 3 weeks. At the end of the 3 weeks, we are going to have each person will have a minimum of 3 variants to their house. They will have the house and they will have variations, possible variations. Maybe variation may only be that some veranda is bigger or smaller, one room is extra, one series of windows are in a straight line instead of making straight. It could be a variation even of that type, but a variation which gives a distinct difference to the house. Okay, so you will demonstrate the viability of your system for achieving variation. You will put it together as a block of 12 houses, and we will put it together. The Nallur Nagarpalika was it? Or Gram Sabha is making the town planning scheme for this, and it will be part of all the groups' works will be integrated in that. Model will also be one big one with the, and there will be a one drawing at least which is showing entire village. New growth. Okay. What do you want to use for this? Next stage, would you want to use sketcher? Or you want to use something, or you want to use a model? You want to get some things cut and use that to create the variants and all that. Some method you have to find out. It has to be like a toy. This thinking now has to be like a toy, where you can put it together in very different ways. You understand? Different people might have different choices. We'll allow. Okay. So tomorrow we are seeing this drawing. Scale, which scale do you think you want to use? 100.
100.
Can be 100 is fine. It can even be 200. Dimension ही तो है. And it will be common between 3-4 people. So who makes the drawing on that also will be a fight. So you have to write at the bottom the name of the cooperative housing society. Okay, so we see you tomorrow.